name is Tiandini Aulia Rahma. I'm from the Sociology Education Department, Class B. In this video, I want to tell you about one of the topics I took, namely the topic of child marriage. I will review the topic of child marriage from articles and journals that I read, as well as video documentaries that I watch. From this search, I get some points that I will review. First, what is the definition of child marriage? The second, in a country where child marriage is common. The third, when did the community start child marriage? Then, why do people still do child marriage? And then, who is most affected by the child marriage? And lastly, what is the impact of the child marriage? Before I get into the topic I want to review, I will tell you why I took up this topic and what benefits do I get, and those of you who watch videos that discuss the topic of child marriage. I think this topic is very interesting because of this case regarding child marriage. It turns out that there are still people who do this. So I think this proves that there are still people who are not aware of the negative impact of child marriage. So I took this topic in the hope that it will provide additional insight into the topic of child marriage, especially the impact of child marriage. From this video, I hope that it will be useful for me and those who watch this video, that child marriage can have a negative impact, and also so that we can participate in reducing the number of people who do child marriage. Okay then, I will review the points I get on the topic of child marriage from the search I took, such as article, journal, and video documentaries. Okay, the first point is about what is child marriage. As we know, child marriage is a marriage carried out by minors, but in more detail, child marriage is a marriage that occurs before the child is 18 years old and does not yet have physical, physiological, and psychological maturity. The second topic is where do these child marriage often occur. Child marriage is more common in countries with dense population, underdeveloped economics, lack of education, suffer from unemployment and poverty. Nah, one of them is India. In the review in this video, I will be more specific about child marriage that occurs in India. The reason I chose India is because from what I know that India is one of the countries in the world that has a high number of child marriage. I once read an article that discussed that India is one of the countries that has the highest child marriage case, which is around 47%. Actually, beside India, there are also African countries, but to be more specific, I only took the topic of child marriage that took place in India. So from the article and journal I read, as well as from the video documentaries I watched, it is clear that in India there are still people who allow their daughters to marry at a young age, between the age of 15 and 18 years old. Then, from the report of the Registrar General of India, in 2001, it was said that the state of Rajasthan in India had the highest percentage of child marriage problems between the age of 15 to 19, and followed by Bihar as the state in India that has a high number of cases of child marriage. The third point is when the child marriage in India began to be carried out by the community. Child marriage in India has been around for centuries, with children being married before their physical and mental maturity. In medieval India, parents were forced to marry off their young children due to invasion, insecurity, and other social cultural problems. Then it developed into a new norm named child marriage. So the problem of child marriage in India is rooted in traditions and social practices. The next point that will be discussed is why do Indian people still carry out child marriage? In fact, uh, Indian law prohibits child marriage. In India, women under the age of 18 years old are not allowed to marry. Even so, India is the country with the highest number of child marriage in the world, according to UNICEF records. The reason is because many parents in some part of India think marrying off their daughter will ensure their welfare of the family. Then another reason for child marriage in India is due to traditions and social practice. This practice has become a hereditary traditions, making it difficult to stop despite the prohibition against marrying children under the age of 18 years old. Then the next reason is because early marriage is done to avoid the possibility of sexual harassment experienced by women. And the reason why child marriage still exists in India is because women are seen as a financial burden. In some part of India, doctors are seen as an economic burden, and early marriage is a way of shifting responsibility to their husband. Poverty also encourages families to marry off their daughters at a young age to reduce their education costs and dowry. In most areas, girls are never given the respect they deserve and are looked down upon, boys being priorities over girls in all areas. Women do not need to go to school because women's jobs are only cooking, cleaning, and taking care of the family. So the reason why marriage process in India are varied and complex with various underlying economic, um, political, and social cultural factors. In addition, the practice is more common in rural areas. Child marriage has a very close relationship with poverty and lack of access to education for women. The next point is who is most affected by child marriage. Child marriage violates children's rights and can pose a high risk for women to experience violence. Child marriage affects both girls and boys, but child marriage the most affect are girls. Uh, Child marriage and childhood, this has a negative impact on children's right to education and health and then protection. Okay, and the last point is how are the negative impact of child marriage. A woman who marries at a young age causes the woman to drop out of school and is unable to contribute to society. She is more likely to experience domestic violence and be infected with disease, one of which is a venereal disease. She is more likely to have children at a young age, as stated by Joydeep Lahiri as the principal of the high school in the documentary video that I watched. He said that some of these students who married at a young age become pregnant within a year or 2 years of marriage and could produce 2 3 children in that time. In addition, there is also a higher chance of death due to complication during pregnancy and childbirth. Child marriage can also cause a woman to experience mental damage because at a young age they are not mentally ready to marry, and if they have children, they will be more depressed, and it also possible that they will experience domestic violence. This is what cause this is what causes the mentality of women who marry at an early age will be damaged even to the point of depression, as the ninth grader Isamara Khaton said. Isamara admitted that she was trauma after getting married at a young age, which was 15 years old, because she got bad treatment from her husband's family. Then child marriage provides evidence that gender inequality and discrimination against women still exist. In society, the practice of marrying children at a young age is a common practice, and marrying a girl is part of an attitude that reflects the low value of girls' human rights. Then child marriage has a negative impact on the Indian economy and can lead to poverty. Girls and boys who marry as children tend to lack the skills, knowledge, and job prospects needed to help their family move out of poverty and contribute to the country's social and economic growth. Child marriage causes a woman to have children early and have many children. Nah, this can add to the family's economic burden. After we know about the negative impact of child marriage, then we need to find a way to reduce the number of children who marry at a young age. The first way I can convey this is to increase public education about the dangers of early marriage and increase women's empowerment. The second way is strengthening the law and the role of law enforcement to play a role in reducing the number of child marriage. Then the next one is to provide strong support to keep girls in school, such as providing scholarships if necessary and encouraging teachers to support girls. And the final step is to create a support network that can send a leading professional women into the community to help girls as role models and source of inspiration and Also, empower girls to manage in negotiation with their parents. Okay, thank you for watching my video review on the topic birth of child marriage. And finally, hopefully this video can be useful for us, especially so that we know what the negative impact of child marriage are, and we can prevent and contribute to reducing the number of child marriage. Okay, if there is a misspelling for me, please forgive me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you.